What's up, everyone? My name is Connor, and these are my top 10 best moments in RWBY. At number 10, we have the Torchwick fight at the end of Volume 1. This fight starts with Blake trying to appeal to the White Fang and realizing just how powerful they've become in her absence.
Brothers of the White Fang, why are you aiding this scum?
But my favorite thing about this extended fight scene is when Sun and Blake start fighting Torchwick together. Now, Torchwick isn't much compared to Salem or the Maidens, but this fight shows us that he is a villain that, while relatively small time, is still capable. At this point in the story, he is better than both Blake and Sun in a fight, and really only loses a 2v1 against them, barely. The tides only truly turn against him when Penny gets involved, where we see a whole new level of fighting as Penny is shown to be capable of emitting a massive laser attack, and she can even bring down a jet with sheer strength alone. This scene might just be a good fight when it comes down to it, but it captures everything that made me keep watching the show after this. Great fighting, great villainy, and unique characters.
Didn't you get the memo?
What are you talking about?
At number 9, we have Qrow vs. Tyrian in Volume 4.
As I live and breathe, Qrow Bronwyn. A true huntsman has entered the fray.
Now this fight is where we really get to see what a true huntsman is capable of. This is a mix of fast action, beautiful effects and camera work, and once it really kicks off, we get one hell of a fight song. When RWBY and company try to get involved during the fight, it's laughably pathetic. Tyrion's able to bat them all away without really any effort at all. It's a fight that does an immense amount of storytelling and foreshadowing without ever having to point it out. And in a volume of, well, let's just call it what it is, bad, floaty, awkward Dragon Ball fights, this restored my faith in the choreography. At number 8, we have Yang telling off Raven in Volume 5. Now, if you know me, you'll know that I'm no fan of Yang. She always fluctuates between good and bad in my book. But this scene was fantastic. She's facing her mother, a maiden, and she wins every step of the argument. She calls out Raven for exactly what she is.
And why would I? Because you're afraid of Salem!
She's someone who's trying to appease Salem so that Salem will kill her last. And it's here when we see Yang's growth from Volume 4. She's not the blindly proud girl that she once was in the first 3 volumes. She acknowledges that she really doesn't know what she's doing, but despite that, she's still pressing forward. This is the first moment that I truly considered Yang a huntress. At number 7, we have teams RWBY and Juniper versus the Nevermore and the Deathstalker. Now this is the first real boss battle of RWBY. This is a battle that takes all 8 of them, 4 to take the Nevermore, and 4 to take the Deathstalker. And this is a fight where we see just how much Monty loved his work. While it is certainly more paper-feeling than many other of the fights we see today, there is a level of heart and imagination that hasn't been matched since. Nora using her hammer to get both her and Jean across in a completely Nora manner. Team RWBY fighting as one for the first time. And the animations that happen, even while out of focus, are absolutely gorgeous, and they make the scene worth rewatching. This is a fight that's intense, funny, and shows what it means to be a spectacle. This is the moment that RWBY showed us what it was. At number 6, we have Adam vs. Yang in Volume 6. Now, I specify Yang because it's really only that portion of the fight that deserves to be on this list. Blake sits back to take a breather, and the second that Adam initiates this fight, everything changes. Now, we do see how much Yang has grown in the latter half of this fight, but we also see just how strong Adam is, or at the very least was intended to be. And from the moment that he dashes into the fight to the moment that he releases his final burst of energy, this fight is truly amazing. And it's, unfortunately, not hard to see why. A great portion of this fight was animated by Monty himself and reskinned for use here. This fight is stunning and nostalgic and shows just how creative the show can be when it tries. And it's just a shame that the rest of this fight, before and after, are so mediocre. But I'll save the rest of that for another video. At number 5, we have Yang shooting Mercury in Volume 3. This is a moment in RWBY that completely takes you by surprise. We see Mercury attack Yang post-battle, and we're led to think that it's his pride that has caused this fall. But then suddenly, it all shifts. You see that the panic created isn't because of what he did, it's because of what Yang did. And we're left just as confused as the audience when we suddenly see that Yang gets surrounded by guards. Then we see what really happened. This is a moment of incredible writing and emotion. This is the first true hint of where Volume 3 is going. Even after the fight, this scene still echoes 2 episodes later, where we see that even Blake doubts her. More so than Ironwood.
You guys believe me, right?
I want to believe you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Blake?
And there's really not much else to say about this scene other than, damn. At number 4, we have Oscar confronting Ironwood in Volume 7. This moment captures what character development should be. Oscar comes in and everything seems normal. But this time, instead of Ironwood heeding Oscar's counsel and backing away, he challenges him. Ironwood advances on Oscar, pushing him towards the edge, and we see the truth behind Ironwood's new visage. We see him turn on everyone that he once tried to work with, because they've either betrayed him or proven that they don't have what it takes to do what needs to be done.
James, to my friends call me. To you, it's General.
Ironwood makes the decision to seal his path. He has chosen to only trust himself, no one else. And the impact of this moment on the viewer is paralleled only by the impact on Oscar. At number 3, we have Pyrrha's death. Pyrrha is the first true huntress we see. Sure, Glinda's a great fighter, and she's shown to be very strong and intelligent in her own way, but Pyrrha is who shows us the heart of a huntress. She's strong, intelligent, capable, and fiercely determined to do what's right. After losing her chance to become half-maiden, she does the only thing that she knows how to do. She fights the villain that's trying to destroy the school. And she pours every ounce of herself into accomplishing that task. The whole while we're watching, we're thinking that RWBY is going to arrive just in time to save her. But in the end, she's too late. And the heart that made Pyrrha so incredible becomes her downfall. A true huntress meets her end. A lot of scenes in Volume 3 showed us that the show is moving towards more adult themes. But this scene is what really seals it. And as tragic as it is, it's a moment that makes me love the show above others. It's a moment that got a true and genuine emotional response out of me. And it still does. At number 2, we have Adam versus Yang and Blake in Volume 3. Adam attacks Blake, attacking her views on faunus rights, her views on equality and what it means to be a faunus, and then he takes his attack to the physical and starts going after her, directly. Yang gets involved in this fight shortly after, and just when we think an epic battle is about to ensue, it quite literally gets cut short. Yang leaps at Adam, and Adam, in one slice, cuts off her arm. Blake goes to defend her, and Adam goes to kill both, and we see him decapitate Blake. But then it is revealed to have just been part of Blake's semblance. While she carries Yang away, we're just left with the impact as to what's just happened. That slice is really terrifyingly beautiful. The scene behind it as it happens sticks with you. And while Penny's death showed us that the show is moving towards more adult themes, and Pyrrha sealed it, this is the one that truly showed its intent to me. Penny can be rebuilt. Yang's arm can be replaced. But the impact of that slice, the emotional impact, that's one of the most powerful moments that we will ever get in RWBY. Finally, at number 1, we have Ironwood versus Arthur in Volume 7. This scene is led into by one of the best fights of the show so far. This fight shows that the writers and the choreographers still have quite the imagination and can bring new fights our way with all new gimmicks and styles. But what truly makes this confrontation great isn't what happens in the battle, it's what happens after. Arthur's out of ammo and Ironwood makes the call to not kill him. So what does Arthur do? He pulls out one final trump card and locks Ironwood's arm in a barrier of hard light dust. Ironwood has 2 options ahead of him. Let Arthur win, or sacrifice another part of his body. And what does he do? Exactly what you'd expect. He steals his resolve, he sacrifices his arm, and he delivers one of the most chilling lines yet in RWBY.
I will sacrifice whatever it takes to stop her.
While Arthur may get the last word in, it's Ironwood's words that are carved into your brain. And regardless of your opinions on him, good or bad, you cannot deny that he is one of the best characters that RWBY has ever created. And this scene shows you why. Well, thank you for watching that. If you disagree with my top 10 or think that there are some scenes that are better, feel free to mention them in the comments down below. Remember to hit that like button if you want to see more content like this. And if you want to see what the rest of our channel has to offer, be sure to subscribe. Looking for any ways to support us? Well, we currently aren't monetizable through YouTube. We do have a Patreon and even a merch store, so be sure to check those out. All of the links to these things are right in the description down below. And last but not least, we'll see you next time.